I never liked the rain. It always brought back memories I tried to forget, blood on the pavement, sirens wailing, and a name I could no longer say without feeling hollow. But that night, I didn't expect him. I was walking home, clutching my umbrella like it was a shield from the world, when a black car skidded into the alley just across the street. Its headlights cut through the downpour, illuminating a man slumped against a brick wall, his white shirt soaked, stained red. I froze. Something told me to walk away. But something stronger told me to step closer. "Hey!" I shouted, my voice barely audible over the thunder. "Are you okay?" I ran toward him, my heels slipping on the wet pavement. I knelt beside him and reached for his face. No answer. Just the sound of shallow breathing. His eyes fluttered open. Dark. Intense. Dangerous. And beautiful. "Tae, who are you?" he rasped. I looked at the blood on my hands. "The one who's saving you." I didn't know then that saving him meant destroying everything I knew. Or that I had just invited the devil into my life. "We need to get you to a hospital." "Tae, no hospital," he growled, gripping my wrist with surprising strength. "They'll find me." "Who?" I hesitated. Then sighed. "Fine. My apartment is close. Can you walk?" I slung his arm over my shoulder and helped him up. He leaned into me, and I could feel the weight of something more than just his injuries. He didn't answer. Just winced in pain and looked away. Fear? Guilt? Secrets? When we reached my building, I checked the hallway, then ushered him inside. My apartment was small but warm. I laid him on the couch and rushed to get towels and my first aid kit. When I returned, he had his eyes on me. Sharp, cautious, studying me like a threat. "Tae, why are you helping me? You have no idea who I am, do you?" I shrugged. "Because you looked like you needed it." "Nope. And right now, I don't care." I paused. That symbol. I'd seen it before. On the news. On wanted posters. He watched me clean his wound, his jaw clenched in pain. His shirt was soaked and torn, and I caught sight of a tattoo on his chest, a black snake wrapped around a rose. He was part of the Black Viper Syndicate. Which meant he wasn't just dangerous. He was deadly. He noticed the fear in my eyes. "Tae, you know now. I am the Black Viper. Kim Taehyung. Your Black Viper." My breath hitched. Kim Taehyung. The name that made criminals shiver and police vanish. The man lying on my couch. And I had just saved him. "Tae, you should leave. Now. Before they trace me here." "You're brave. Or stupid." I shook my head. "I'm not leaving you like this." "Maybe both," I said, smiling faintly. He looked at me like no one had ever said that to him before. Like the idea of someone staying was foreign. He closed his eyes, exhaustion washing over him. I stayed up all night, watching him breathe, wondering if I had just ruined my life or changed it forever. When morning came, he was gone. Just a blood-stained towel and a note on the table. "Tae, no thank you. Don't look for me. You'll only find danger." But it was too late. And I had a feeling he wanted to be found. Even if he didn't know it yet. Days passed, but I couldn't shake him from my mind. Every sound outside my apartment made me flinch. Every shadow looked like a threat. Then one night, a black envelope appeared under my door. No name. Just a symbol, a black snake wrapped around a rose. Inside was a single message: "They know." I didn't sleep that night. My phone stayed in my hand, ready to call for help I knew wouldn't come. The next morning, I found a man in a suit sitting outside the building, pretending to read a newspaper. He wasn't from the neighborhood. Too polished. Too still. When I walked past, he lifted his gaze, and I knew. He was watching me. At lunch, I got another envelope. This one was slid across the table by the cafe's barista. "Barista, run." Inside, a photo of me and Taehyung from that night. Grainy, but unmistakable. They were closing in. That evening, I returned home to find my apartment door slightly ajar. I pushed it open slowly, grabbing the closest thing I could find, an umbrella. He was there. Taehyung. Sitting in the dark, bleeding again. "Tae, I told you not to look for me." Then it's worse than I thought. They want leverage. And now they think you're it. Against the Black Viper. Too late. If I go, they'll come for you. We fight back. I didn't. They did. I knelt beside him, pressing a cloth to his shoulder. What the hell is going on? Leverage against you? You need to leave. No. Then what do we do? He looked up, eyes heavy with regret. He stood up slowly, towering over me. And just like that, my world was no longer mine. It belonged to him. To the Mafia. To the shadows that followed. The city didn't sleep, and neither did I. After that night, Taehyung vanished again, but his presence lingered in every breath I took. I kept my curtains closed, my doors locked, my heart on edge. Then, 3 nights later, I found a black motorcycle parked outside my building. No rider. Just a note taped to the throttle. Come alone. Midnight. Warehouse 39. I should have burned the note. I should have stayed in bed. But something in me needed answers. Needed him. So I went. The warehouse stood like a forgotten skeleton in the dark, broken windows like jagged teeth. I pushed open the rusted door. He was waiting inside. Tay, I thought I told you to stay away. He stepped from the shadows, dressed in black, the glint of a gun at his side. They've marked you now. There's no going back. Then maybe I should start walking forward. I crossed my arms, my voice steadier than I felt. Why call me here? Tay, he hesitated, jaw tightening. Because I need someone I can trust. And I don't trust anyone. He walked toward me, stopping just inches away. You're not like them. You still have a soul. And you don't? I asked, my breath catching as he reached out and brushed a lock of hair from my face. Tay, I sold mine a long time ago. He looked away. But maybe I want it back. That night, I agreed to help him. Not because I believed in his cause. Not because I didn't fear him. But because when he looked at me, I didn't feel invisible. I felt seen. Needed. Alive. What's the plan? I asked. Tay, there's a man, he said, pulling a file from his coat. Jae-hwan. He's the one who ordered the hit on me. He's trying to take the Black Vipers for himself. I need evidence. And you can get close. I stared at the photo. Cold eyes. Snake smile. You want me to spy on a mafia boss? Tay, you want it in. This is in. The deal was made in silence. No handshakes. Just a look. A promise. A line neither of us could uncross. For the next week, I trained with Taehyung in the shadows, learning codes, signals, how to lie without blinking. He watched me like a hawk, correcting every slip, pushing me past every fear. You're enjoying this, I muttered after a particularly harsh session. Tay, no, he said. I'm preparing you to survive. We spent hours together, sometimes in silence, sometimes in fire. At night, I'd catch him watching the city from the rooftop, cigarette in hand, eyes full of storms. Do you ever sleep? I asked him once. Tay, only when I forget who I am, he replied. Eventually, the night came. I was dressed to kill, literally. A wire hidden in my necklace, a tiny blade in my boot. Taehyung drove me to the club where Jae-hwan held court. As I stepped out of the car, he grabbed my wrist. Tay, one rule. No heroics. If things go wrong, run. What about you? Tay, I'm already in hell. The club was velvet and vice. I played my part, smile sharp as glass. Jae-hwan noticed me within minutes. He was charming, cruel, and far too curious. Jae-hwan, and who might you be? Just a girl who likes power, I purred, trying not to choke on the words. I slipped the flash drive into his computer while he poured drinks. My hands didn't even shake. But as I turned to leave, I heard it. Guard, check her bag. My blood ran cold. Then a voice rang out behind me. Tay, she's with me. He stood at the entrance like a shadow come to life. Guns drawn. Eyes blazing. Tay, step away from her. Chaos erupted. Shots. Screams. Fire. He pulled me behind him, shielding me with his own body as we crashed through the back door and into the night. Blood on his arm. Smoke in the sky. You said not to be a hero, I gasped. Tae, you broke the rule first. We drove until the city lights faded, until silence returned. He pulled over by a river, breath ragged. Tae, you did well, he said. Too well. He'll come for you now. Then we finish this. He looked at me, a strange sadness in his eyes. Tae, no. I finish it, and for the first time I realized. He never planned on surviving this. Taehyung disappeared for 2 days after the club. I waited. I checked the news. A fire had destroyed a warehouse near the docks, Black Viper territory. No survivors confirmed. My chest tightened with each headline. Then on the third night, I heard the knock. 3 short raps. 1 long. Our signal. I opened the door and threw my arms around him before I could stop myself. I thought you were dead. Tae, I was close. He winced as I touched his side. They're hunting us now. Jaehwan's put out a bounty. You're in deeper than ever. Then we dig deeper. We moved into an old safe house Taehyung hadn't used in years. The air smelled of dust and memories. The walls bore bullet holes and old bloodstains. We were ghosts hiding among ghosts. And we only had one option left: go on the offensive. Tae, there's a mole in the Vipers. Jaehwan's getting inside intel. We find him, we cut off his eyes. And if the mole is close to you? Tae, his jaw clenched. Then I end him. We began surveillance, tailing old contacts, tapping burner phones, decrypting intercepted messages. For 2 people from opposite worlds, we moved as one. I learned to read his silences, and he learned to trust my instincts. You're bleeding again, I said one night as he staggered through the door. Tae, better me than you. I stitched his shoulder under the dim light of a flickering bulb. He didn't flinch, just stared at me with eyes that looked older than time. Tae, you don't belong in this world. Maybe not. But I belong with you. He didn't speak after that. Just leaned his forehead against mine and closed his eyes. Tell me something true. Tae, I dream about you. Even when I'm awake. The next day, we caught a break. One of Taehyung's old lieutenants, Miho, had been acting strange. Avoiding meetings. Using unregistered phones. We followed him to an abandoned train station. Tae, he's feeding them information. That's our mole. What now? Tae, we sent a message. Taehyung confronted Miho that night. There were no raised voices. No second chances. Just a single shot that echoed through the rails and through my spine. Tae, no more betrayals. But something changed in him after that. He became quieter, colder. Like each death pulled him further from the light. I feared losing him, not to a bullet, but to the darkness inside him. You're pulling away. Tae, I'm protecting you. By becoming someone I won't recognize? Tae, by becoming someone who can keep you alive. We barely slept. Plans were drawn. Names circled. Jaehwan's empire had cracks. And we were going to blow them wide open. But with every step forward, the danger grew closer. One night, I woke to find Taehyung gone. Panic gripped me until I saw him outside, drenched in rain, eyes on the horizon. Tae, if anything happens to me, promise me you'll run. If anything happens to you, I'll burn the world down. He smiled then. Just a flicker. But it was enough. That night, we made a vow. Not of love. Not yet. But of survival. For each other. With each other. Tae, tomorrow, we end this. And for the first time, I wasn't afraid. I was ready. We both were. Because fire doesn't fear the dark. It consumes it. We struck at dawn. The sun hadn't yet risen, but the city already pulsed with tension. The plan was clear: infiltrate Jaehwan's private estate, extract the evidence of his betrayal to the council, and end this war. One way or another. Tae, you stay in the van. If I'm not out in 20 minutes, you leave. No. Not this time. We do this together. I'm not losing you in there. Tae, then stay close. And don't hesitate. The estate loomed ahead, wrought iron gates, cameras hidden in vines, men with cold eyes and quick hands. We moved through shadows, disabling alarms, slipping past guards like whispers. My heart pounded in my ears. Not from fear, but from knowing that one wrong step meant losing everything. We reached the server room. I started the download. Taehyung kept watch. Tae, hurry. This place feels wrong. The moment the progress bar hit 100%, the lights cut out. Red emergency lights flickered on. Footsteps thundered from above. We were trapped. Jaehwan, Taehyung, you should have stayed dead. Doors slammed open. Armed men flooded the hall. Taehyung shoved me behind a cabinet, pulled 2 pistols from his jacket, and opened fire. Tae, go. Get the drive out. I'm not leaving you. We fought side by side, bullets and bodies crashing like a storm. Then, I saw it. One of them aimed at his blind side. No! I screamed, diving toward him. The shot rang out. Pain exploded in my shoulder. I hit the floor. Tae, Yn. With a fury I'd never seen before, Taehyung ended the fight in seconds. Then he was kneeling beside me, hands soaked in red. Tae, stay with me. Don't you dare leave me now. Looks like I broke the no-hero rule again. He carried me out, limping, breathing hard. Sirens wailed in the distance. Taehyung had sent the evidence live to every major outlet. Jaehwan's empire crumbled before dawn. I woke up in a hospital 3 days later. Alone. Doctor, he saved your life. Then he disappeared. Weeks passed. I healed. The scars remained. Of bullets. Of love. Of him. The world moved on. The headlines shifted. But I didn't. I visited the river where we first ran. Left a note. One only he would understand, the fire still burns. And one night, under the city lights, a black motorcycle pulled up beside me. Helmet off. Eyes like storm clouds. Tae, you broke my rules. Guess I'm bad at following orders. Tae, then let's make some new ones. He took my hand. No promises. No vows. Just presence. And for the first time, we walked forward, not as fugitives, not as soldiers, but as survivors. Because when the storm breaks, only those who've burned through the fire remain.